This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with audiences, and sell anything from products to content to time. All in one place, all on your terms. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video. First on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here, and I'm very excited to dive into today's video of Pointlessly Gendered. Anything pointlessly gendered, from things that you can buy to food to decor to toilet doors to other things. Literally anything in the world, there will be somebody out there who has decided to gender it in some way. So I thought that we could have a look at some more of those things today. Are you ready? If it wasn't for women, this is how most guys would live. That looks like a garage, still with the garage door, literally with a car in it. Is that a snowboard on the wall? A big corner desk, a computer, a shelf of things, and a bed. I mean, this does very much scream person who does not care about interiors and is like,
all I need is a bed, somewhere to work, and something to drive.
I don't know how sensible it is, A, to put things in front of the garage door like that, like part of the desk is covering the garage door, but also to live in a garage that hasn't been converted in any way, because technically it's not like a habitable part of the home, or at least not in the UK, unless it's been insulated and has a window or like a door on it, not a garage door. Maybe this person lives somewhere very dry and warm where this would work, but no, winter in a garage in the UK, one, all of your stuff would be ruined, your bed sheets would get moldy, and anything electronic would probably be okay, but not a fun experience. But sure, yes,
every man wants to live in a garage right next to his car.
Well, you know, save the space and just sleep in the car. For men only, Alpha Wolf Male Invigorating Shower Gel provides freshness from top to toe.
But real alpha male doesn't want to be fresh, he wants to be musky.
Super refreshing shower gel removes lack of sleep and roaring night side effects. Okay. 96.5% natural origin ingredients. Now see, I feel like that would be too woke for an alpha male. He wants all of the synthetic ingredients, all of the ingredients that destroy the planet. Wild bearberry. I feel like they've just chosen that because it has the word bear in it. For
real men.
Real men. Going through this subreddit honestly just makes me ask why. Who is buying this? The kind of guy who would buy something so heavily marketed towards
real men, alpha males,
wants a 5-in-1, not just a shower gel. That's not efficient enough. Headache, men ace, sahiator, mentally ill, inhumani. Okay, so somebody's taken words that they have negative connotations with, or words that are seen as more negative, and have pointed out how they are all masculine coded. He, men, man. Bizarre enough, an interesting choice, but sure. And somebody's commented trying to do the same but the other way round with feminine words like in feminine pronouns, but it's just not worked. Slushiat, hurry, and a slushiat. You did not get it. If this was the point, this person just sailed right over it. I don't know. They didn't play the game very well. 260 people liked it. I hope that was all in a mocking way. And also, they went for words that are typically used as derogatory words towards women, whereas the original post was just generally things that we may view more negatively, like a headache, and was bracketing the male pronoun within that. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make logic out of it, and there is no logic. Remember, it's one cupcake per student, and the blue is for boys and pink is for girls. Why is blue for boys and pink for girls? That's just how it is. But why? Because? I don't know. Capitalism arbitrarily decided it at some point within human existence after the Victorian era, because I'm pretty sure Victorian era, it was the other way around. It is very bizarre. There's a purple cupcake in there. Oh, is that for the non-binary student? I'd swap the cupcakes for stickers that we placed on the playground map, and I had a similar situation in school, but the question never got answered. I did not want a pink sticker, and I was like, why? Why do I get the pink sticker? It just had to happen that way, apparently. Pointlessly Gendered is simply a place full of users who don't understand marketing and advertising. Seriously, 9 out of 10 posts there are simply people not understanding focus groups, demographics, and market studies. This was posted on Unpopular Opinion and then reposted to Pointlessly Gendered. Of course, men and women can buy the same product, but if studies show 70% of buyers are male, why wouldn't they market it towards them? I think there's a difference between generally marketing something in a more like masculine way, if it's typically bought by men who would want something that was stereotypically like mask coded and wouldn't want to buy things that were feminine. Although I think in marketing products and opening things up and things being more gender neutral, we could start breaking down that stigma around like men not wanting to touch anything more feminine. But there's a big difference between that and having like mask coded advertising and literally having a shampoo bottle that is like,
This one is for men, and there is entirely no difference between this one for men
and this one for women. They are identical, but the women's one is £1 more and smells like strawberries.
it doesn't make sense. You can market things more towards men without literally saying,
this thing is only for men.
especially when it's really bizarre stuff, or the manness of it or the womanness of it is so in your face and bizarre, like the shower gel. You may or may not know that I am a very big fan of fashion. I am interested in clothes, yes. And I make a lot of fashion content over my Instagram. If you're interested, you can go check it out there. But I've decided to turn my hand to being a fashion designer for pigeons. And other birds, but mostly pigeons. Thank you, Lovely Spud, for the suggestion. And thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Becoming a fashion designer for pigeons would not have been able to come true without the help of Squarespace, the all-in-one website design platform for any idea where the possibilities are endless. Squarespace's extraordinary cutting-edge design tools won't leave you winging it, meaning you can build a unique website that matches your brand, business, or any idea you might have. You can use Squarespace's Blueprint AI, the AI-enhanced website builder, to help you create a fully customized website quickly and easily. As a pigeon fashion designer, being able to showcase all of my wing-credible designs is very important. And Squarespace makes this easy with their asset library, meaning I can upload, organize, and access all of my fashion designs in one place. You'll be able to manage all your files from one central hub and coos them, yes, across the Squarespace platform. Shop on I's actual Squarespace website was superbly easy and fun to make and not going anywhere. Squarespace gave us the freedom to get creative, link our social media platforms, and show off our podcast 1-800-DRAMA. We can also use Squarespace's handy analytics tools to check the number of visitors and top geographical locations. Very handy. Squarespace will give you all the data you need to grow your website. To get started yourself, go to squarespace.com for your free trial. And when you're feeling ready to launch, we can just pretend that's a bird pun for this one. Head to squarespace.com/Jammidodger to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much for listening. The link is in the description box. Go click it. And now let's get back to the pointlessly gendered products. Oh yeah. Boys versus girls. How boys Google PC overheat solution. How girls Google my PC is overheated. How do I get it to cool down because this PC is my life? I mean, I don't know where this has come from. I don't understand the reasoning behind it or the logic. But also, I feel like the girls Google one, if you get rid of the because this PC is my life, would work better than the boys. I've always found that when I start Googling something, you start general and then you hone in a bit and you do actually get more of the results you want, the more specific you can be with your search. So whoever made this is just saying like girls are more efficient at Googling and also have emotion over things, according to the person that made the post. You can see who's male and who's female. Honestly, my gut is telling me, from more like a boomer mentality, they're trying to say that the guy would be the happier cat. I don't know if that's actually a happy cat, but the happier looking cat, and the woman would be the grumpy cat. However, I don't entirely agree with that. That's just my assumption of what they're trying to say based on other posts I've seen on here. And again, I'm trying to logic something that has no logic. It's because it comes across like that old trope of,
Oh, woman ball and chain holding the guy back. He's just a happy golden retriever man and she is grumpy about everything he does.
that's the vibe I'm getting, but I could not disagree with this more as a stereotype. Boys' clothes hanger. Why is there more to it? Why does a clothes hanger have legs? What is that supposed to do? Girls' clothes hanger. Why are they toilet door sign shaped clothes hangers? How do you even put clothes on them? That just looks horrifically awkward. How would one use that? Somebody in a design room thought they had a really clever idea and everybody everybody was too scared to tell them no, and this is what happened. This is the result. No. From human or not community on Reddit. Human or not. I have no idea what this is. Conversation started. Hello. IEO. What's good? Nothing. Nice. Same. Making coffee. What's good? Nothing. Nice. Oh, I'm so glad that nothing is nice. Making coffee. Enjoy. You're a girl. That's bad. What? They're talking to like a 13-year-old wannabe incel. I'm a dude. LMAO. A dude making coffee? WTF? It doesn't just come from the air. Right. Time's up. Spot on. You just talked to a fellow human. It takes one to know one. New game. What the hell is this? One, what is this? But two, since when could men not make coffee? This is very confusing to me.
I'm making coffee. Oh, you must be a girl then. No, I'm not. Oh, what? Why are you making coffee? You're a
Is this like women belong in the kitchen? But then I thought there was also the stereotype of like men and their coffee machines. I don't know. People are bizarre. People like this are so bizarre and confusing. 6 campfire lays every man should know. Women aren't allowed to have a campfire, apparently. It is the man's job. The group of women are lost in the woods and they need fire. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. They were not given this leaflet. 1. TP fire lay. Okay. Star fire lay. Lean-to fire lay. How would that one work? Log cabin fire lay, long parallel fire lay, the pyramid upside down / council fire lay. My favourite is the long parallel because I feel like you could have a nice group of people sat around it and everybody would get a bit of warmth. I do not understand the lean-to one. I also do not understand why this is for men. If I as a man cannot use my autism as a cop-out and use it to leverage my advances in school or work, women should be held then accountable just as much whenever they abuse their very own biological difficulties. What is this? Full title. I as a man am sympathetic to women's biological hardships including pregnancy, menstruation, ovulation and menopause. It doesn't sound like it. However, if I cannot weaponize my very autism at work or school to get by and use it as some sort of cop-out, entitled feminist women then should be called out more whenever they abuse given biological difficulties. I think it's a very well-known thing that generally within society, within situations like a workplace or a school environment, people who experience pregnancy, periods, blah, 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 are not actually afforded the compassion that they should be if they struggle with those things. Some people who have periods, perfectly fine, little bit of cramping, nothing unmanageable. Other people, it is incredibly debilitating to their lives and they cannot function properly because of the level of pain they are in during that time. I don't understand people who are so tit for tat. Like, if you get this, then I get that too. If I can't have that, then neither can you. It's like, just because this guy clearly feels like his autism hasn't been taken into consideration at times, why should other people then miss out? But also in a way that they already do as well. Like, it's quite workplace and school dependent how those institutions will react to biological functions that can impact people and also neurodivergence. And I don't really know why you would want to use it as like a cop-out or like weaponize it. If it's something that impacts your day-to-day life, if it's something that impacts your ability to do certain things, then absolutely you deserve for that to be acknowledged and recognized and you deserve the support around that. But if it doesn't and you just want to use it as an excuse because you see other people seemingly getting away with things and having, I don't know, an easier time with stuff because of a certain thing they experience and get sympathy for, and you want that even though you don't need it, that's really weird. This is bizarre. In all seriousness, this should have been realized sooner by me, but still, isn't it just amazing how we can lower the standards of work for women at any given moment just because of them said biological hardships, but whenever I try to use my autism in a legitimate way and ask for accommodations, I get met with complete hostility or indifference at best. See, if your autism is impacting you and you need legitimate accommodations for it and those are not being met, that is not the fault of the people whose needs are being met around periods. Those are two very separate things. It's the fault of your employer or your school, and that's who should be addressed. I don't know why this person has suddenly gone, I'm having a hard time with this, something's not being accommodated for me legitimately, and instead of using that legitimate reasoning and genuine argument for like, we need more inclusion here and this place needs to do better and help me, they suddenly turned it into it being women's fault. Why is it women's women's fault. It doesn't feel like there is sympathy towards painful periods and pregnancy, because it's just like lower the standards of work for women at any given moment just because of the said biological hardships. Try it. Try experiencing a painful period and have fun with that. Anyway, effing bullshit thresholds. This is literally a female privilege in action. Just look at what happened at Google. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate for autistic adults is more than 66%. Men with autism and other special needs are the group least likely to go to college or other facets of higher education right after high school. I don't know those facts myself, but like, these are two incredibly separate issues. Why is this guy getting angry at women for a lack of inclusion for people with autism? They are separate things that can absolutely coexist. We can have help and support and inclusion for periods and pregnancy, etc., and help and support and inclusion for people with autism. They're not mutually exclusive. Just because this guy clearly feels like one is being done but not the other doesn't mean that one shouldn't be done. It means that you should advocate for the one that's not being done to be done. As in, this should never have even mentioned periods. This should never have mentioned women. This should never have mentioned pregnancy. This should have all just been about, I have autism and I know the stats about people with autism in these certain situations. It's shit. It's not fair. We need to do better for people with autism. We need to be more accommodating. We need to be more supportive. That is a very legitimate argument to make. But to bring women into it for no reason is really bizarre. Republican congressman says he doesn't drink from a straw as it's what women do. What? Is this real? The Irish Star. A Republican congressman from the state of Tennessee has drawn the ire of several people online after he claimed drinking from a straw is something only women do. Oh my god, I need to Google to see if this is real. Has he been named? Okay.
A few moments later.
Oh, it's real. Tim Burchett. That's how you pronounce his name. GOP congressman's reasons for refusing to drink out of straws is depressing. The hypermasculinity movement is out of hand. Republican Tim Burchett's comment to Fox News about using straws appears to be the latest sign. One of the reasons you don't drink from a straw is the way your lips purse, Waters said on Fox News. The 5 at the time is very effeminate. I don't drink out of a straw, brother, the Tennessee Republican told Fox News when asked to comment on Waters' anti-straw guidance on Thursday. That's what the women in my house do. This is so weird. 90% of the time it is men. Why are they so weird? Why are they so weird? Why are they so scared? Why is their masculinity so fragile? There is no need for it. You won't drink out of a straw because it's what the women in your household do. And these are the kind of people that are in American government. Jeez. Women run on emotion, not logic. Today you're her king, tomorrow she's ghosting you. Don't take anything she says too seriously. It's all mood swings in makeup. Have you seen those signs? I've reacted to them on Pointlessly Gendered before, that it's like little girls are giggles and glitter and little boys are something and dirt. And forget giggles and glitter, it's mood swings in makeup now. I think the group of men that hate women in society, what would be best for everybody is if they just removed themselves from ever interacting with women or ever having anything to say on women's lives. Because if you hate women so much, why do you want to be involved with them? Like, honestly, it's really bizarre that there's a bunch of guys out there that hate women so much. And they're straight and they hate women. I'm not trying to say that sexuality plays a part, but it's like, if you're attracted to women and you want to be in a relationship with a woman, but then you hate women, not that it would be okay for a gay guy to hate women, but it's just like, these guys want nothing to do with women, but then they want to be with a woman. I don't know how they compute that in their brain. Maybe that's why they say such ridiculous things. This is just incel all over. French MFers assigning genders to chairs and tables. People who speak French. I'm trying to learn French. People who speak French, either as your first language or a second language or whatever. How do you remember? How am I supposed to remember that a sandwich is masculine and a pizza is feminine? When you have cup and glass, I can't even remember right now if one is masculine and one is feminine. Like, why is a pizza a woman? I do not understand. It's so confusing. And every single time I practice French, I'm genuinely like, I will never remember this. It would be so much easier if there was just, like in other languages, where inanimate objects are just not gendered, unless you choose to gender them, like some people choose to assign a gender to their car. But please help. Do you actually remember? It seems impossible, but it must be possible. 5 best gentle and nourishing hair removal sprays for men. Ranked. Why are they gentle if they're for men? Experts rank the top 5 safest hair removal sprays for men. It's a really interesting thing to gender gender so strongly. Because, like, to be hairless and smooth is seen as like a feminine thing. And it's like women are the ones that are expected to have no hair. But here we are.
For men, the best hair removal.
Sprays. Not even like method, like specifically a spray, which I'm assuming is a bit like hair removal cream. Like the last time I checked, things like Nair weren't gendered. If you're a dude and you want to use a hair removal method like that, you can just buy a non-gendered version. It doesn't need to be like a man bottle. What the heck is that? For women only, mini portable pocket umbrella, perfect for travel and outdoor activities. That is an umbrella. I want to see it unfolded. But why is it for women only? Why is this little umbrella only for women? Is it too tiny for the men? Will it just slip through their hands? Opportunity was seen and taken. Kudos to you, door installer. They gendered wood grain. Oh my god. Sunscreen designed for fun man stuff. Sunscreen for men. I've never seen gendered sunscreen. Do you know what this is? I feel like we see so much of this stuff for men because it's things that are often to do with like hygiene or safety, like sun cream, like looking after yourself. That is a gender neutral product. You don't see a shower gel say like for women. You don't see sun cream say sun cream for women. Makeup doesn't say makeup for women. It's just a product that exists within society that for some reason some fragile men have gone, oh
No, that's for women. No, you want UV protection? That's a woman's thing. Get it away from me.
but then you slap for men on it and they're like,
Oh, I can use it. Okay.
so maybe instead of like saying for men and like pandering to this fragile masculinity, these products that are so gender neutral, we should just be teaching men that it's okay to use them. We don't need sunscreen for men. And what do they mean by fun man stuff? Because it's on grass, my head just goes to like golf. Here is your man sunscreen for your manly golfing. And that's me pointlessly gendering a sport. Boys room. It's very blue and chaotic and there's a football and there's lots of dinosaurs. There is pink in it though. Oh my gosh. The girls room is pretty and incredibly pink and very organized and minimalist, which would go against some other stereotypes. But yeah, so what, boys are chaotic, messy and have a lot of things and girls are pink, tidy and don't own a lot? Sure. Why do men start podcasts instead of going to therapy? The same reason females start it's blurred, but I feel like it begins with an O and an F instead of getting a job, lol. I've seen things like this being said before. I mean, one was kind of lighthearted, and then, I'm sorry, whenever a man refers to women as females, it just gives me the ick, and you know what they're gonna say next is very likely to not be good. Nature is so boring. Men was screaming at a burning piece of paper. I don't understand. Is that Tom Hanks from Castaway? Made in the USA. Manly pink. Is this progress? Is pink being reclaimed back as also a color men can use? Can we forgive this one because it is pink and it is trying to reintroduce pink as being a good color?
For the men, manly pink.
I wonder if they all say that though, or if the rest of them are like arms and they say like blue or green, but because it's pink it has to say
Manly pink.
chalk as bold as its name. Extreme visibility. Is that the name? What is the name? Maybe the name is manly. Men are so extreme. A fan. Fabric handheld folding hand fan with a tassel. Grade A bamboo ribs for women, girls. Summer party event. Favor birthday wedding. Souvenir gift. Silver grey. I hate those titles so much. Like just incorporate like keywords that are hidden. Like, can we just have that be a thing? Yeah, men, you have to overheat. You're not allowed to fan yourself. Nuh-uh, too feminine. Relax super towels designed for men who hate to clean. This feels so childish of like,
How do we encourage little Timothy to do his maths homework? Let's buy him a little sticker book as a prize for afterwards.
it's like, how do we encourage men who think that housework is for women?
We make specific cleaning towels just for them and say it's for the ones who hate cleaning, but look, we're giving you something to make cleaning
Fun. I don't understand. Look at all this blood you can clean up, because that's what this looks like. I feel like it's supposed to be ketchup, but it looks like like blood? Who got murdered? A don't be girl such, just drink it. Horrible design. Makes me angry. This is so awful. It's awful. No, but I don't care about the gendering. I just think this needs to go in the bin. I'm assuming they mean don't be such a girl, just drink it.
Oh yeah, if you can't down that bottle of alcohol, you're such a girl. Yeah, only girls can't down that alcohol.
Or create something that is aesthetically nice, but then why is it pink? I see, this feels like they're trying to market it towards men and being like,
hey, like you run like a girl, you drink like a girl, don't be such a girl, just drink it.
It feels like very like toxic man coded, but then it's pink. But then we did see manly pink. Maybe it was made with a manly pink chalk. This was on a single stall restroom. Why? Single stall. I've seen similar things, but like on the separate doors of like pee streams, basically. Why was this on a single stall? They've double gendered a gender neutral toilet. That's the stupidest thing. Keep him off the floor. They've gendered poop now. They've gendered poop. I don't want to read the rest of it, but they have gendered a little turd. There you go. Men are shits. This is soccer. American football is for men. Soccer is for girls. You're kidding, right? That feels very American coded, because I feel like football, like soccer, which in the UK is called football, is not as big a sport in the US as it is in other places, including like South America, huge, Europe, huge. USA seems to be quite on its own reasonably. There are other places where there are other sports that take priority, but like America has its
Own football.
but it should be American football and football. That's why it's called American football, and not just football. American football. Football is football. But the hilarity of somebody saying that American football is for men and soccer is for girls, I feel like they must be American, because anybody from a country where football, and every time I say football, I mean what Americans would consider soccer because I call it football. Everywhere where football is a very popular sport, it's such a man-coded thing. It's only in recent years that the women's game has actually gained any form of notoriety. I grew up with movies like Bend It Like Beckham that showed, weirdly enough, that to be professional football players, they had to go from the UK to the USA. Even though it's nowhere near as popular in the States, they couldn't play professionally in the UK because it wasn't a thing. And this was in the noughties. This was like 20 years ago. It's only very recently that it's become properly a thing, and it is still nowhere near the level of men's football. But in my opinion, it is much more enjoyable to watch, and the skill level is amazing. I would always go watch a women's football match over a men's football match. But this is so weird. This is so weird.
They don't bump into each other, therefore it's womanly.
And that's what I feel like the reasoning would be. But to say that when it's just such a thing that women footballers are so forgotten. Like, how rich are the football players who play for England, who play for the top teams, who play for teams like Manchester City and Tottenham and Manchester United and Arsenal and all of that? How much money do they get paid? And then compare that to the women who are playing at the same level for the same teams, winning the same cups. Where's their money? Fun is a feminine concept. If it interests you, you likely have low testosterone / feminine hormones. Doesn't even know what the feminine hormones would be. Whereas high testosterone / masculine hormones, what does he mean by that? Makes you derive fulfillment and positive emotion from progressing in the social hierarchy.
And here's me doing some dips in my garden.
I don't want to say much about this. All I would say is this sounds like a very sad life. If you feel like you cannot allow yourself to have fun, and there's a little trampoline with a net around it in this garden, and I can't help but feel like if this is the guy that's at it, because it says stitching comment, so I'm assuming that this guy in the video is the one that made this video and has this comment to say about fun, and it looks like he's got kids. That makes it even more sad, because does that mean you don't feel like you can play games with your kids and have fun with them and have fun with your family, and then just do things yourself that you find fun? Not everything is about progressing in some hierarchy, whether that's in a job or whether that's in a friendship scenario. It's not, or like a competition or a sport or something. That can be part of your life if you are someone who is very driven and competitive and you want to do that, fine. But like, let yourself have fun. I've said way more about this than I wanted to. It's actually just miserable. And I feel like I really wouldn't like the kind of person that has this opinion. But I also kind of feel bad for them that they've been brought up to feel like this is what they have to do in life. And they're not allowed to feel enjoyment from the little things in life, or just like goofing around or having a hobby. Just sounds like a really sad way to live. Girls think fixing their hair is hard. Try telling your dad you broke something. Ew. Bacon cheeseburgers are prime prime white man's food. I hate this. Jews can't eat bacon, Muslims can't eat bacon, Indians can't eat beef. But it's not Indians, a majority of Hindus don't eat beef. Other non-whites will probably get sick from cheese due to lactose intolerance. Pointlessly gendered and a nice little bit of racism. Okay, fine. Have your bacon cheeseburger. I just feel like they feel superior because they're like, the bacon cheeseburger is the white man's food. Off. Let your dreams take flight, my school diary for boys, because only boys want to fly planes. Carrying a lunchbox to work is a feminine trait. There's absolutely nothing manly about that. I have read one like this before, but this one has a reply. Me on my way to work, masculinely, with a chicken drumstick in the pocket and spaghetti in your wallet. What do they expect men to do? This either must come from a place of like, men buy their food, like buy their lunch, men don't eat lunch, or men carry their lunch in their pockets or their hands, or are they thinking that guys just make a sandwich and throw it in a bag? But then technically your bag is the lunchbox. Because what is the definition of a lunchbox? It is a thing to hold your lunch. So if you put it in a backpack, you've just got a bigger lunchbox. Women cheat on billionaires. Women cheat on celebrities. Women cheat on jacked, handsome guys. Nothing can keep a woman who doesn't want to be kept. Choose your wife practically, not emotionally. I feel like if you choose your wife practically, that's how you end up with somebody who may not be in love with you, may not want to be with you, may not want to be monogamous with you. This just sounds like the exact kind of advice not to give, but also it's not a woman only thing. It's not just women who cheat on billionaires. It's not just women who cheat on celebrities. It's not just women who cheat in general. It's not just women who cheat on objectively attractive opposite gender people. Nothing can keep anyone who doesn't want to be kept. And like, what is this kept bullshit? Nobody's kept. People should always be in a relationship because of their own free will. They're not being kept by you. They are with you because they want to be with you. And there is a reason why this person has this view of women. I just don't feel like someone like this would be a great partner at all. Choose your wife practically. What does that even mean? Like, what traits are they looking for? It's just weird. It's just weird. Jesus first for men. A little God time for girls. There are so many gendered Bibles. It's scary. Not surprising though, but scary. Brookstone glow-in-the-dark giant yard pong set for women. Why is yard pong specifically for women? Alpha Color men coloring book. I mean, who doesn't want to color in an incredibly scantily clad, incredibly muscular, tanned with a six-pack gladiator? That is the most like alpha male, manly, straight thing I have ever seen. And that's it. That's all for today's installment of Pointlessly Gendered. What did we think? Let me know below which one shocked you the most. For me, I think it was the football comment. All of them are ridiculous. It's the football comment and the guy that was like,
men can't have fun.
Oh, and then the guy that was all like,
you can't keep a woman who doesn't want to be.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, I'm going to go do something that prevents my blood from continuing to boil over these posts. If that's very warm, that might be difficult. But if you did like this video, think about giving a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to. I also have a Patreon. You can see some names going up on some of my Patreons. Thank you very much for supporting me over there. And a big shout out to my top tier Patreons: Albar, Chloe, Elden K, Gosco, Iona Balash, Jesse Entwistle, Marv Mallow, Max Makes Mods, Night Soul, Nesta, Rachel Raptor, Randy, River Champagne, Ry Loves Rory, Sienna Lamb, Slayer, Sugar Joe, The Third Hat Man, TNS Mum, Sally Drew, and Sarah Hobbs. Thank you so much. If you do want to go support me over there is a link in the description box. It really helps. There's bonus stuff over there and extra little bits and pieces that you can get access to, but there is absolutely no pressure to do anything, just letting you know it exists. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.